This series between the Warriors and the Timberwolves has gotten off to a really interesting start. From the beginning, a Steph injuring his hamstring, that changes everything. Even though the Warriors won this game, this is going to have complexities within the entire series. And yes, the Warriors won today, but should people be concerned? We'll talk about that throughout this video and towards the end. But let's just cover the game first. All right, the Golden State Warriors pull off the win by a margin of 11 points, score 99 to 88. The Timberwolves found a hard time scoring tonight. They had one quarter, the second quarter, in which they only scored 11. That won't get it done. And it wasn't like the Warriors were killing it in the first half. They were better than the Timberwolves for sure. I think the defense for the Warriors is how they really won this game. You hold the Timberwolves to 88 points. You did very well. And I think that's a testament to the players and the effort that they put on in terms of the Warriors being led by Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, who played really, really well. And Steph being out, that was the only way you were going to win this game. You weren't going to produce an enormous amount of points. It's just not going to happen. You need that gravity, that threat from Steph. And really, the Warriors, they shot 39% from the field. They shot 43% from three, which is excellent. The Wolves shot 39.5%, which is almost identical to the Warriors, but from three. The Timberwolves were 5 of 29 for 17%. That won't get it done. And then the rebounding edge went to the Warriors, plus 10. And then on the offensive glass, they were plus 6 compared to the Timberwolves. And then turnovers, the Warriors took better care of the ball. They played a better brand of basketball tonight. And that is replicable for the for the Warriors. They can play like that throughout the series. You know, I do think there's a couple of things that we questioned from last series when the Warriors were in the last round. Was, you know, could a guy like Buddy Hield repeat his efforts? You know, his hot shooting. He actually carried that over. He played 40 minutes. He was 5 of 8 from 3 for 24 points. He even threw in 8 rebounds, 4 of them offensive, with 3 assists and a block. Dre was excellent in the first half. He ended the game with 18 points, 4 of 10 from 3. He actually opened the game, I think, 4 of 5 from 3. That means he missed the rest of them. But he was cooking in the first half. He had 8 boards, 6 assists, and 2 steals. And Jimmy was very good, 20 points, only 7 of 20 shooting. But it's everything. It's the collective with Jimmy. 11 rebounds, 7 offensive rebounds for Jimmy Butler, 8 assists, 2 steals. Steph was good while he was in the game. He scored 13 points, but the hamstring injury got him pulled out of the game. He did not return. He was ruled out. He's probably going to miss a considerable amount of time. Pods had 3 points in 29 minutes. He was 1 of 5 from 3. Didn't really help. Kuminga, a little bit off the bench. Didn't play all that much, 13 minutes. Gary Payton II had 8 points in 26 minutes in more of an expanded role with 5 rebounds and 4 assists. But, man, for the Wolves, what an anemic offensive performance. Julius Randle, 0 of 3 from 3. Same thing with McDaniels. Rudy Gobert went back to normal, like what he is. Mike Conley Jr., 0 points in 22 minutes. Anthony Edwards, 23 points on 9 of 22 shooting, 1 of 5 from 3. He did have 14 rebounds. He had a couple assists. He had a few steals and a block. But they just didn't have it offensively. Naz Reid was very good. He actually came out of the game at the end of the second quarter, did make his return, played 34 minutes, 3 of 7 from 3, 8 of 14 overall with 19 points, 5 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and a block. There just wasn't enough there. All right, so here's what we're going to discuss to kind of wrap up this video. The Golden State Warriors played a brand of basketball that is sustainable and replicable. They can do this again. They can do it often in the series. But I do think the Timberwolves are going to play better offensively. I think there's going to be some adjustments to be made. I think without Steph in the lineup, the threats on the Golden State Warriors are going to have a harder time being open. I don't think there's any arguing that. You know, when the adjustments are made by the Wolves, you know, they're gonna look to say to the Warriors, you know, you guys can't score as much as you could with Steph. You're not as dangerous without Steph. And I think they're gonna they're going to find a way to break through, and it's going to make the series very challenging. Steph's going to miss game 2 in all likelihood. Hamstring injury, they're going to look to try to get him back and healthy before they try to bring him back early. That's risky business. You aggravate the hamstring, it can often set you back in a longer time frame than what originally the injury kind of did. So they're going to be extra careful with him. I'm sure they'll play it day to day. They're going to list him day to day, but he's probably not playing game 2. I wouldn't be surprised if he misses game 3 and 4 as well, because that would put it at a full week. That you're talking about probably 6 or 7 days of rest and, some rehab and therapy and stuff. But he's even when he gets back, there's no guarantee he won't aggravate that injury. I don't know. That's a real wild card. And I don't know how long they're going to be able to contain a guy like Anthony Edwards. And these other guys for the Wolves are very good players. I think there's going to be adjustments to be made. Game 2 is going to tell you everything you need to know about the complexion of the series. Game 1 is a great outcome for the Warriors, but I don't know if that definitely means, okay, they won game 1 without Steph. All of a sudden, now they're the favorite to win the series. I don't think that's the case. I think it's the other way around. I think it's a great game for the Warriors, and they can continue to play like this, like play really well, especially defensively, but they could still lose, right? The Timberwolves could beat them, even if the Warriors play pretty good without Steph, because the Wolves have a star, Anthony Edwards, and that's hard to contain. And they have really nice supporting cast. And I don't know, if Steph isn't able to be in there and be dangerous, I like the Wolves in the series. I like the Wolves in 6, even though they lost this first game. I'm looking at the Wolves in 6 right now, without Steph. Prior to this, I was more like Wolves in 7. And of course, there's the possibility that the Warriors could win the series. I don't think the Golden State Warriors can beat the Wolves without Steph Curry available, healthy, and fully capable in the series. That's going to be tough. Tough loss for the Warriors. But they're tough. That's a tough team. It's a well-coached team. You got playoff risers and Jimmy Butler and Draymond and those kind of things. We'll have to see how this all plays out. If they win game 2 without Steph, that's telling you something about these Warriors. It really does. Let me know what you guys thought of the game and what you think the rest of the series looks like. And how big of a loss that Steph loss is, man. It's huge. Let me know. Drop me a comment. Like, share, subscribe. Check out some more videos. We'll see you guys on the next one.